Welcome to another enthralling episode of our series, where we dive deep into the darkest and most mysterious tales. Stories Mystery presents The Shadow People. Have you ever felt it? That unsettling, inexplicable sensation when you're alone in your room at night. The weight of unseen eyes on you. The world around you is silent, still, but something feels off. Like the shadows themselves are alive, creeping, watching. You turn your head slowly, heart pounding, scanning the room, telling yourself it's just your imagination. But then, in the corner of your eye, you catch it. A figure, darker than the night, blending with the shadows but distinct enough to send a jolt of terror through you. They're known as the Shadow People, elusive, ancient. These beings have existed in the corners of our reality for centuries, drifting between this world and another, one far more sinister. Some dismiss them as tricks of the mind, nothing more than our brains playing games in the dark. But for those who've truly seen them, who've felt their presence, there's no doubt. They are real, and they've always been here, lurking, watching. Throughout history, they've been whispered about in folklore, painted as ominous figures in ancient texts, and shared in hushed tones around campfires. And yet, despite their long-standing presence, sightings of them have grown more frequent, more chilling. Witnesses describe them as tall, human-like figures, but made entirely of shadow. They have no discernible faces, no features except for one thing: their eyes. Some see nothing but empty blackness where eyes should be, feeling only the oppressive weight of their gaze, as though these creatures are peeling away layers of your soul. Others report something far worse: eyes that glow red, piercing, malevolent, burning like embers in the void of their faces. And those eyes, they don't just watch, they move. Imagine this. You're lying in bed, the day's weight finally slipping away as you drift toward sleep. The room around you is quiet, nothing but the soft hum of night pressing in. But suddenly, something feels wrong. The air feels heavy, oppressive. You hear a soft shuffle in the darkness, barely a sound, but enough to make you freeze. You want to ignore it, to dismiss it as the house settling. But then comes that feeling. The cold, unmistakable sensation of being watched. Your eyes snap open, scanning the darkness, every shadow now teeming with menace. At first, there's nothing, just the familiar shapes of your room cloaked in the night. But then, there, in the far corner, a figure, tall, impossible to fully make out but undeniably present, darker than the shadows themselves. Like a void standing within the room. It doesn't move. It doesn't breathe. It simply watches. You try to tell yourself it's a trick of the light, but deep down, you know better. This is no trick. This is something far more sinister. You want to move, but your body refuses. You're pinned beneath the weight of fear, as though an invisible force is pressing down on your chest. Your heart races, panic flooding every vein, every nerve. You want to scream, but no sound comes. The figure shifts. Not much, but just enough to make your blood run cold. It's closer now, somehow without moving, as though the darkness itself is pulling it toward you. You blink, praying that when your eyes open again, it'll be gone. But it's not. It's closer. The shadow person doesn't walk like you or I. It glides, silently, barely touching the ground, as though it's part of the air itself. Now it's standing at the foot of your bed, looming over you. You can't see its face, but you know it's looking right at you. Its presence is suffocating, like cold fingers pressing against your skin. And then, you see them. The eyes, two glowing red pinpricks in the darkness. They burn into you, searing themselves into your mind. You feel exposed, vulnerable, like it's tearing away at your very soul. In that moment, you know this isn't a nightmare. This isn't a trick of the mind. It's real, and it's here for you. Some say these shadow people feed on fear, that they're drawn to it, growing stronger as they drain the energy of those they torment. But others believe there's something far worse. Entities from another dimension, slipping into our world, not just to watch, but to hunt, to take. Once they've noticed you, they never leave. They follow you, hiding in the dark corners of your home, of your mind, waiting. You may not always see them, but they're there, watching, always watching. Maybe you've seen one yourself. Maybe late at night when you were walking down a dark hallway, you caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of your eye. A shadow, moving when it shouldn't have been. Or maybe you felt it. The cold, crawling sensation at the back of your neck. That deep, primal instinct telling you that you're not alone. The stories all have one terrifying thing in common. No one ever truly escapes the shadow people. They're always there, just at the edge of your vision, in the places where light doesn't reach, watching, waiting. So, the next time you're in bed, the next time you see that flicker in the corner of your eye, ask yourself, are you really alone? Because once you've seen them, they'll never stop watching you. And if you're listening now, in the quiet, in the dark, whatever you do, don't look behind you, because they might already be there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Did this video scare you? Let us know in the comments section.